This is a very unique story. So my father, both my parents are of Indian descent. So they came over to the States when I was 4. My mother came over first. She was a nurse practitioner, and my dad was a professor in India. So when he came over from India to the UK, he was still a professor over there. When he came from the UK to the United States, they said that his education would not transfer, that he wasn't qualified enough to teach at the university level in the States. So my dad said, okay, well, what job do you have available? So they had a job back then, it was called a degreaser. A degreaser is an individual, this job does not exist anymore. After every quarter or every semester of anatomy class, you have cadavers.
Cadavers?
Cadavers, dead bodies. My dad's job was to dispose of those bodies. Now, this is a man that was called a doctor back in the old country. Now, when you dispose of these cadavers, it's not a garbage truck that comes and picks them up. You have to dismantle them. You have to cut off their legs, you have to cut off their arms, you have to cut off their head, and you throw them in a furnace. I saw him do that when I was 4 years old. My parents couldn't afford babysitters. My mom worked at night, my dad worked during the day. So when you were off from school, guess what? You can't disturb mom because she's worked 16 hours that night. You go to work with your dad. My dad said, he goes, son, never let your pride get in the way of doing what's necessary and providing for the people you love.